Hi guys, we're back at Smash Fishing. We're going out, do some traditional float fishing today, and hopefully we can get our hands on some garfish or pollock, anything that's around. So stay tuned, we might have a cook up if we get a few. It's Smash Fishing, woo! What I'm using today, guys, very simple setup, very old school. Just a little pencil float, 1/2 ounce weight to a 2-foot trace and a size 1 hook. And this is my mullet rod, which is a 12-foot Sigma Supra. It's a barbel rod, but this is ideal for mullet and stuff like that, just general float fishing. So we're gonna get baited up now, and we got some chum to mix up. For the chum, guys, all I'm doing is just getting some water in my bucket, and then we got the good old bread. But what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to leave a couple of slices behind, just because if any big mullets show up, then I can quickly change my hook and go to a smaller bait. What we're doing, get loads of bread in there, and that's the couple we're going to keep just in case the mullet do show up, and give it a good old crush up. There we go, we've got a nice consistency there. It's just really mushy bread. This is fish oil, guys, and this, make sure you put this in after you put your hand in there, because this will stink you out for a week. So get a good chug of that, because garfish are very much fish bait eaters, and they get attracted to the scent. So what you do is just mix a load of oil in there and get it all mixed up, and you can see it ends up a really brown consistency. This will bring in a massive scent in the water, and fingers crossed we can get a few. What we got for bait? Fresh old mackerel. What I like to do with this, the belly section is usually the toughest part. So if you just cut the belly like so, and then you can run your knife down just like this and take off a couple of really good strips. And these right here are brilliant for catching anything really, pollock, longnose, mackerel. Mackerel will eat mackerel. But what I'm going to do today is cut them in half. That's about the size that I'm going to be using today, little strips. We've got a nice bright day, and it's usually better for longnose on a bright day. So fingers crossed we can get them. So I'll get that on the hook and we get cast out. What I like to do with this, guys, where your float stop is, I keep it shallow to start with, because longnose, they're usually at the top of the water column in the first sort of 12 feet. So I'm going to put it at about 6 feet to start with, and if I don't get anything, I'll chop and change, and I'll keep making it deeper until hopefully we can catch a nice fish. Target fish of the day. Yeah, boy. I didn't even see this at the time. There you go, that's the longnose or garfish, or we like to call them skanks sometimes. This one's really taking the hook well, so I'm going to get my rag out and get him on hook. So there you go, guys, that's the garfish. Awesome little creatures, really scaly. They stink a bit as well sometimes. I've dispatched this one, but it's still twitching a bit with the nerves. But look at that, they got awesome beaks on them with razor sharp teeth. You see my mackerels in there. They love fish baits, and that's why they come in on the chum. Beautiful, hopefully we can get a few more. Always important with this sort of fishing, there's a nice rag to wipe your hands, because they are really scaly fish. You can see the scales coming off, so you definitely want a nice rag with you. My float just bobbed under then. It helps get all the slime off. Come on, hopefully we can get a nice big one. I love the way they start jumping out the water as soon as they're hooked. And this was literally next cast, guys. There we go. Come here, big boy. Shiny fish. brings me back to my childhood doing this. So enjoyable. And sometimes when the long nose are in, really, you hear me say long nose or garfish, they're both the same thing. When they're in properly, you can catch hundreds of these, and that's how you kill them. It's just bend the neck back, just like a mackerel. So there you go. That's another lovely long nose right there. Woo! So I'm going to use the same bait, because often a bit of mushy bait like that will get them straight away. Often with this sort of fishing, your float, it can be leaning flat on the water, because they mainly swim on the top water column. They can swim sideways and your float will lay flat. If that happens, just give it a strike, and most of the time you'll have the fish on. It's either that or they would dive the float straight under the water. Fish on as soon as it hit the water. Yeah. And these are brilliant bait. They're brilliant to eat. They've got green bones as well, which I'll show you later on in the video when we eat some. That's the garfish. Really pretty fish they are. A lot of nerves kicking. See that? They're brilliant. I've had bass on these as well. If you take a big strip off, put it with squid, and yeah, you can catch bass on them. So all you really need, it's a very small thin piece of bait, just like so. You can cut down the mackerel just like that. Then you get a little sliver just like that, because then they can swallow it down. I had a piece on about that thick, and that's why I was losing fish. So what I'll do is chuck this out, and my money is we're gonna get one pretty quickly. There we go. Look, straight away, guys. Just gonna give it a sec, make sure he's properly got it. There we go. Fish on, baby. What I'm looking for is a couple of really big ones. That'd be nice. That's a little bit better stamp. And these ones, these can go upwards of 1.5 pounds. That's pretty big. That's a bit bigger, that one. Lovely size one. Oh, float went under there. Come on. Here we go, guys. You can see them swirling round. Yeah, fish on. They are absolutely everywhere. It's so fun. This is like mackerel bashing, but with little marlin instead. That's a better fish. That's a lot better fish. Nice and chunky. There you go, guys. That's a lovely chunky garfish, that one. Beauty. See how streamlined they are. Proper little marlin they are. Oh, just missed him. Here he comes. Straight on it. Come on, eat it up. Here we go. You can see him fighting. Float's going. Boom. Come on. Oh, that's a better fish. That's putting a little bit more of a bend in the rod. You can see how much these fish love to fight. And this is all valuable bait for me. This will save me a lot of money. That's the biggest one of the day, hands down. There you go, guys. That's a lovely size long nose, that one. That's a beauty. Cracker. And that's the eating size you want, nice and big. So we're definitely gonna have a cook up today. And look at that. He's completely dispatched. You can see it's completely gone. It's just the nerves, they go mental. Right. Getting a nice bag full now. Come on, you long nose. We got a screamer. Well, I'll take one more dive, boy, and I'm gonna hook you. Here he goes. Yeah. I don't like to leave them eat for too long, guys, because they tend to swallow the hook. Look at that. That one there is a perfect conger bait if that's flappered. It just shows you how fast they really come in on this. Just cast out. The power of the chum. There we go, fish on. Oh, that's a better one. Let's give it a right old scrap. You can't beat the chum. When garfish fishing, chum is the king. That's what brings them in and holds them there. They look amazing in the water, look at that. And as always, keep chum in the water now and again, every sort of 15-20 minutes. Just give it a couple more spoonfuls and that will just keep attracting them in as the day goes on. Oh, I missed him. See if any others want it. Oh, fish on. I didn't even realise he was on. Another one down, conger bait. Going into the rock pools. Come here, little buddy. Go in there. Stay with your friend. As I was saying earlier in the video, like when the garfish are in, they come in force. This is what it looks like. We've hit them bang on the nail. They are in. I can't keep afloat in the water for longer than a minute, and then it just takes off. There's a lot of fish around at the moment. There we go. Fish on. Another one for the rock pool. That's a better fish. That's a lot better fish. Look at the size of that one, guys. He's a big boy. Still got my hook in his mouth. That's 3 in the rock pool. See if I can get my hook back. Another fish. Oh, this feels like another good. We're getting some good ones now on the back of the tide. It's usually the point around high tide. Start getting a lot bigger fish. Starting to fill up the rock pool. There we go. Oh, that feels a better fish, that one. Giving a good bend. Another one bites the dust. Bam, bam, bam. There's just thousands now. This one's a lot bigger, guys. Taking a bit of drag for a second. There we go. That's more like it. That's a beauty. Whoa. The size of that for a garfish. That's a monster of a garfish right there. He's going mental. What I'll do is I'll give you a proper show of these after, guys. That one's a beauty. That's got to be getting on for about £1, I reckon. can see the size of it compared to the other ones. That's a proper grandma right there. You can't really get a proper size of it on the GoPro. I'll put the GoPro on the tripod after and give you a proper show. That's a stonking long nose, that one. Check the size of this one, guys. That's what you call a garfish. Look at the size of that. That is an absolute beast of a garfish. Look at that, beautiful beak on it, perfect condition. And these are the ones that you want to eat. And this will make about 3 or 4 conger baits, this would. Brilliant sized fish. And that's the ones you want to catch. These ones take drag, they jump out of the water, you name it. What a brilliant fish to catch. I'm going to dispatch these now and get them in the bag. And then we're going to do one more big load of chum in the water. And we'll fish for about 10 minutes, get a few more for the extra bait. And then we'll call it quits there and go do a cook. Yeah, we got him this time. Come on, boy. You want to fight? You want to fight? Ooh. That's the last fish of the day. This is the sign you've had a good day. When your rod is completely caked in scales, the whole area full of scales. We got a whole bucket of fish, loads of them as well. So what we're going to do is find a clean rock pool and we're going to descale and fillet the big long nose and we're going to cook that at home. That's not a bad haul, that one. That's a really good bucket of fish. Plenty of bait. We got a bit of food out of it as well. All you do to fillet these guys, so I like to just go straight in and then just follow the backbone. I'd rather have my filleting knife if I could, but yeah, you're just following the backbone all the way down until you reach the end. I'll show you in a sec. They've actually got green bones. Check that out. You can see inside here, bright green bones. And yeah, they won't hurt you at all, they're just bright green. So I'll whip the other fillet off now and we'll go home and cook it. So there we go. We've got 2 half decent fillets there, and what I do with these, so I'm only keeping the top line of the fillet, and I'll show you in the kitchen what we like to do with them. You can see how bright green those bones are. Always interests me that, but this is a delicious fish. We've got plenty of bait. Back in the kitchen now, guys. We've got our lovely fillets here. And how I like to prep these, you can see where the bones are, and all along this flank here, there's none. So what I do is just run carefully down where the bones are and run all the way along. And what I like to do is get about a finger length and then just cut down like so, all the way along. And what you can do is get underneath it and slowly skin it out, just like so. And what that does is give you perfect little, almost like little fish finger sized pieces. And then you've got loads of skin on the bottom here that all gets detached, just like so. This is just my personal way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is carry on now, get both of the fillets done, and I'll show you the next step. So there we go. Loads of little finger sized pieces there. The rest of that will get used for conger bait. I didn't do a very good job of the filleting down on the beach. I could have got more off, but I just had to use what I had. So there we go. We're going to work with what we got. We'll get these cooking. What I've got here, guys, is just a bag of flour with lots of sea salt and pepper. And then we got our little fish bites. Get them in the bag and get them a good coat in there. And those are ready for the frying pan. What we've got is a little bit of oil, guys. We're getting that in the pan, and all we're doing is just shallow frying these. You can breadcrumb them, but I didn't have any today. What you do is just put a little bit of oil, about 1/4 of an inch in the pan, and then you can breadcrumb them and fry them that way, and they end up like little fish fingers. But this way is just as good, nice and crispy, so we get that to heat. I think it's important to say is the reason I filleted these down the beach is because they do stink a little bit. So that's why I do it down the beach, descale them, whip the fillets off, and then they're easier for handling at home. Beautiful. So we've got our fresh pieces there. Once that pan gets to the heat, we're cooking, baby. We had 23 long nose in the end today, so it's not a bad little sesh really. Usually in the competitions we'll fish like that with like small baits, lots of chum, lots of fish oil, and that's how you'll get multiple of them and rack up some points. So there you go, guys. Not the fanciest cook in the world. I haven't cooked one of these in a long time. I've got some hot chili sauce there. Beautiful, nice and crispy. Just like I remember, they're quite a tough fish, but they got big flakes on them. Perfect for little fries like this. In the, definitely worth doing it in the breadcrumbs. But even if you just wanted to try it, it's well worth doing. It's a little bit hassle to prep them. There is better fish out there, but this does taste really nice. Little fish bites. Wow, that's hot. Wow. That sauce is quite spicy. There you go. There you go, guys. That's what it looks like. Beautiful white flesh. Like I say, the bones are really bright green. so you can spot them from a mile away. So I won't leave you any longer, guys. Just a quick little cook up, just to show you how I like to cook them, rather than with the breadcrumbs. But hey ho, if you want any merch, guys, links in the description. If you like my channel, like and subscribe. There's been plenty more to come. It's smash fishing. Woo!